Welcome to Audit Scotland. I'm Diane McGiffin, I'm Chief Operating Officer, and I'm really delighted that you've joined us tonight. We offer a fantastic graduate training scheme. We're looking for people who are committed to making a difference to public services in Scotland. And tonight you'll be able to hear from people who are delivering that scheme and also from people who are taking part in it. So by the end of the evening, if you haven't already, I'm hoping that you'll apply to take that next step in your career with us. The global pandemic has changed all our lives and it will continue to do so. It's really shone a light on the importance of public services to the well-being and health of the nation. At Audit Scotland, that's something that we work and live with every day. We're experts in public sector auditing, we're experts in public sector funding. Through our work, we aim to make a difference to the lives of people in Scotland by ensuring that public services continue to deliver what matters and to improve. We work across the public sector, Scottish Government, local government, health, police and fire. So in working with us, you'll get great experience that probably wouldn't be available anywhere else. Tonight's event is a live Teams event. It's the first of its kind for us, so please be patient. If your connection goes down, just exit and rejoin. And if you've got questions, I hope you'll ask them at the end or email them in after the event. We're all learning here, so look forward to getting your feedback too. But first, let's get on with the night and over to my colleague, Mark Taylor.
Good evening. My name is Mark Taylor and I am an Audit Director here at Audit Scotland. That means that I lead teams doing the audit of public bodies such as Transport Scotland, Social Security Scotland and Forestry and Land Scotland, certifying their accounts and on reporting on how well they manage public money, and I'm part of our leadership group. I'm also the co-chair of our Professional Trainee Steering Group. This group oversees our professional training scheme and supports all of our trainees as they progress through the early years of their career. I'm delighted to welcome everybody to tonight's open evening. I'm going to give you an outline of our trainee scheme that we are confident is the best public sector accountancy training scheme in Scotland. I started my own career way back in the 1990s as a graduate trainee. Many of the senior staff here at Audit Scotland also started off in the trainee scheme, and many of our trainees, about 3/4, choose to progress their careers with us after they qualify. Others choose to move on to other roles in the public and private sector. Whatever you might decide to do down the line, our training scheme and the ICAS qualification give you lots of options for developing your career. We currently have around 45 graduate trainee auditors, including 9 who joined us in October this year following our last recruitment round. The previous year we had 14 people join us as graduates, and generally we'll look to appoint around 10 to 15 graduate trainees each year. We have also had 7 people complete their training in the last year, all of whom started with us back in the autumn of 2016. The training contract we offer lasts for 54 months, that's 4.5 years. The first year of that is on-the-job training, so if you start with us in 2021, you'll begin your ICAS studies in September 2022. Our trainees have told us year after year that having the opportunity to learn on the job before starting studies is really valuable. This is because you get the chance to understand how we work, and for many people what it's like to work full-time in a professional services organisation like Audit Scotland, so that when you begin to study accountancy, things make much more sense. Everyone who joins us in the next year will start their exams at the same time and stick together as a cohort throughout your training. This means that you will also have good peer-to-peer support throughout your training, working alongside your colleagues. We also do lots of other things to support our trainees, including structured on-the-job training programme that gives you a chance to work in lots of different audits, assign you a buddy to show you the ropes when you arrive, and match you to a mentor from an older year group who can share their experience. We also offer great benefits, including very flexible working arrangements. Our graduate trainees work across both our audit services and performance audit and best value business groups as part of a single scheme. Every year, 2 or 3 people are initially assigned to performance audit teams and everyone else to the financial audit team. But people can then move about, and we work hard to give people the opportunity to work across the full range of the audit work we do. Our graduates come from a wide range of backgrounds, and we welcome applications for people with degrees in any subject. We do have people join us who have studied accountancy, of course, but last year, for example, we also had people join us with degrees in sociology, criminology, economics, maths, and aeromechanical engineering. Very exciting, that last one. Our Director of Audit Services Group, Fiona Cordiak, has a history degree. We also look for a minimum of a upper second honours degree, and we will test your numeric reasoning as part of the application process. But to be clear, you do not need a maths or accountancy degree to join us. We place much of our focus on your supporting statement in your application form. There is a chance for you to set out what you can bring to Audit Scotland. We also have a good mix of people joining the scheme directly after university and those who have worked elsewhere since graduating. Over time, it's a pretty even split, and if you have a degree and have already started your career elsewhere, we would be delighted to receive your application. Applications to join our graduate scheme opened in September and will remain open right through to the end of January 2021. I know that a number of people joining us tonight have already applied, and I am delighted that you are interested in joining us. For others, if you like what you hear tonight and what you've seen on our graduate recruitment site, please do submit an application. We've made the process as easy as possible and ask you to complete the application form online. That's enough to get things going. After the application closing date, you'll then be asked to complete a short online numerical test. If you're successful after this stage, you'll be invited to attend an assessment centre and interview, which we expect to be in March. We'll keep you updated throughout each stage of the recruitment process, and exact details will be confirmed nearer the time. Obviously, we're working in line with the COVID-19 restrictions. This means that much or all of the recruitment process may well be online. We've continued to recruit throughout this time we have been working remotely, so we now have a pretty good handle on how best to do this, and to make sure that everybody can give it to their best shot. Our professional trainee steering group works hard to make sure that we continuously improve the scheme, listening to current trainees about their experience and involving them as we work on any changes. For example, we've recently introduced peer-to-peer training where trainees that have been with us for 2 or 3 years train more recent cohorts in key aspects of the audit, bringing a trainee perspective. Being involved in this kind of thing also gives you opportunities to develop your own supervision, leadership and presentation skills. Our trainees also meet regularly as a group, organising these sessions themselves, making sure that they cover the right things and hearing from the Auditor General and other senior staff where they feel this is helpful. Our graduate trainee scheme is a key part of how we bring people into Audit Scotland and provides us with the pipeline of talent we need for more senior roles in the future. We think it gives everyone involved a fantastic start to their careers with great support and a wide range of experience, and the opportunity to develop your professional expertise. But please don't just take my word for it. As an auditor, it's important to gather evidence from a number of sources, so you'll now hear from colleagues that have been part of the scheme, and then we'll be joined by Graeme Foster of ICAS, who will talk us through the specifics of the ICAS qualification. Thank you.
My name is Martin Nolan, and I was recently promoted to auditor here at Audit Scotland, completing my 4-year training contract and passing my final ICAS exam in the summer. I joined Audit Scotland as a trainee back in 2016, and coming from a non-accounting background, I was a bit unsure of what to expect with financial audit. However, the induction, the training, and the warm welcome and support by colleagues helped put me at ease in my first year here. Since joining Audit Scotland, I've gained a lot of valuable knowledge and experience from working across many different audits and sectors. This has included working on local government audits, so councils such as Orkney Islands and Scottish Borders Council, on college audits, health board audits, and central government audits, which has varied from National Galleries of Scotland to Scottish Forestry. I've worked at offices and client sites across Scotland, and this has really broadened my perspective on how significant the work is that we do here and how we really make an impact on public sector finances. I've enjoyed developing my corporate group experience from being a member of the trainee feedback group over the past couple of years, which is made up of a small group of trainees across different years of the programme. This has involved interviewing other trainees on their experiences, collating this feedback and reporting key points to the professional trainee steering group. The aim of this is to help improve the graduate trainee programme for future trainee auditors. I've also organised and presented peer-to-peer training and final accounts areas to first-year trainees. I recently hosted the first ever virtual trainee mini-meet session which was a video call with other trainees focused on discussion on ICAS and on wellbeing. It's been a great opportunity to help improve the experience of trainee auditors as part of this work. I've been fortunate to have had the opportunity to lead audit work for a college body and a small central government body this year. This has involved organising and leading the audit planning, controls work, final accounts testing and completion, while working with different colleagues and clients. The experience of leading the work on 2 different audits has been a great chance for me to develop my technical, organisational, leadership and communication skills to the high standards required of an auditor. I've enjoyed drafting audit outputs and being able to support more junior colleagues this year for these audits. I was really impressed with the way Audit Scotland looks after its staff, in particular trainees. Its flexible working and skills development is regularly encouraged by management. The support teams here are also first class at what they do, and teams such as HR and digital services have really been helpful to me over the past 4 years. They really benefited from being able to focus solely on my ICAS studies as part of the trainee programme, and I believe this enabled me to succeed in my ICAS exams this year. I was so happy with this, and I couldn't really ask for more support from Audit Scotland as a trainee. They've been really good to me. For me, one of the best things about being a trainee has been the continuous learning and development throughout the trainee programme. I've learned so much about audit, accounting work, public sector finance, and financial reporting. The first year of the training contract was also a good introduction to everything before my ICAS studies started the following September. Another great thing about being a trainee is meeting and working with so many interesting and friendly people. When you join Audit Scotland, you have fellow trainees who join in the same year, and you tend to support each other and throughout the programme. It's a nice feeling to be able to share experiences of work, studies and exams with other people, and you feel really connected as a group. The trainee group as a whole is really supportive of each other, and I find this to be a really positive experience here. I would really recommend the trainee programme as it enables you to develop your technical and professional skills while working on a variety of interesting audits all over Scotland. I get a real thrill out of meeting new people and helping to steward the finances of the public sector through effective audit work. Audit Scotland really supports you in your studies towards becoming a qualified chartered accountant with ICAS, and this is a world-class qualification. It's a fantastic and rewarding qualification to have. Staff are all supportive of you while you go through your studies, and you really do feel cared about as you progress throughout the training programme. The flexible working offered to Audit Scotland staff also really makes a difference to your work-life balance, and this has even been more important while remote working in recent times. I've enjoyed working with so many interesting people here at Audit Scotland, and I couldn't imagine being made to feel so welcome and valued anywhere else.
Hi, my name is Amanda and I joined Audit Scotland as a professional trainee in October 2018. I'm Edinburgh based and a member of the Scottish Government Audit team, so that's the main audit that I've worked on for the past 2 years. I've also worked on the audits of several smaller central government bodies such as the Scottish Consolidated Fund, Registers of Scotland and the Queen's and Lord Treasurer's Remembrance Hour. I've really enjoyed being able to work on different audits. It's allowed me to meet colleagues across the audit services group by working in different teams with new people, and I've also been able to gain experience in a variety of areas in a relatively short period of time. So I've been able to work on planning, controls and final accounts, which is the full audit cycle, and see how all of this links together to result in the annual audit reports that we produce. So I'm only halfway through my training contract, but I'm really looking forward to working on audits across the public sector areas such as local government and health over the next 2 years. There's a lot of support for trainees across the organisation, meaning that when you are working with a new team or on a different piece of work, you don't feel as if you've been thrown in at the deep end. There's also lots of training opportunities to help develop the skills that you use in your work. So for example, I've done training on professional skepticism, making audit judgments, Microsoft Excel. Those are all things that I use every day. Trainees also have the opportunity to get involved in some non-audit related work through the different corporate groups that we've got at Audit Scotland. So for example, last year I joined a group called the Trainee Feedback Group. So this is a group of trainees from across all of the intake years, and we work together to gather feedback from all trainees on their experience of the professional trainee scheme. This allows everyone's views to be heard, and it helps us to identify any areas in which we can work to improve the scheme for everyone involved. It's been great to be involved in something that benefits all of the trainees and helps to shape the experience that we have throughout our training contract. One of the benefits of being part of such a large group of trainees is that there are a lot of us to share our experiences and support with each other. I think the main thing that stands out about being a trainee at Audit Scotland is the 1 year of work experience that we do prior to starting ICAS. So with the support of your team, trainees are involved in audit work from the start. I remember getting my first piece of audit work on the first week that I started as a trainee. But training is provided to ensure that everybody has an understanding of the work they're doing, and that means it doesn't matter if you come from a relevant degree background or not. The range of backgrounds and the fact that not everyone comes from having studied accounting doesn't make a difference. Everyone's able to work on the same things from the start, and you don't feel like you're being treated differently from any of the other trainees. I think that having the time to settle into my role and get to know my team and the organisation before going on study leave for ICAS was really beneficial. I never felt like I was delaying studying or extending being a trainee by a year because I gained so much experience that I don't think I would have had the chance to get otherwise. It gives you time to work on skills that can be applied to both work and studying, and it also helps you feel more settled when you're back at work after study leave. So rather than have that new job feeling all over again, you already know your team, you know a bit about the role that you're doing, and you know Audit Scotland, so you don't feel like a newbie. Another thing I feel stands out about Audit Scotland is the work environment that we have here. So it's really friendly and welcoming, which as a trainee really helped me to settle in quickly. And there's also a strong emphasis on flexibility and having a good work-life balance across all areas of the organisation, which I think is really important. So when you do start ICAS, there's a really good separation between work and studying. Trainees aren't expected to be working whilst on study leave, and that gives you time to really focus on your learning without distraction. You're still able to get support if you need it when you're on study leave, but you don't have to be finishing files or replying to emails. Overall, I would definitely recommend Audit Scotland and the Professional Trainee Scheme to any graduates that are interested in working in audit. There's a lot more to audit than looking at financial statements, which is what I naively believed when I graduated university. I think that Audit Scotland provides the opportunity to work towards an accounting qualification whilst doing interesting and meaningful work, and there's a great balance between the two. Hopefully you found some of what I've spoken about to be helpful, and if you've got any questions, I'm sure you'll be able to get the answer at the Q&A at the end of the session.
Hi, my name's Graeme Foster, and I'm a lecturer at ICAS as part of the learning team. My own background is in public sector audit, so I've actually done quite a lot of work similar to that that's carried out by Audit Scotland. I've also over the years taught quite a few Audit Scotland students. I also play an ongoing liaison role with Audit Scotland. I am in regular touch, helping supporting Audit Scotland and its students, and I also support recruitment events like the one you're attending just now. So I'd like to say a little bit about the ICAS qualification, which is regarded as a gold standard within the profession. So what's it like? What does it involve? I think the best way of approaching that is to think about the 3 levels of the qualification. So we start off with the test of competence, or TC. That's where we lay the foundation and get the fundamentals of business practice, accounting and auditing in place. So that if you've not got a background in accounting or auditing, if this is something you're not familiar with, don't worry. We'll start off on page 1 and we'll make sure that when you're going on to the later levels, you've got those fundamentals laid down. It's assessed principally through multiple choice questions. So we're focusing on factual knowledge and some application of key foundational skills. Then you move on to the test of professional skills, or TPS level. This is where we really try to take it up a level and focus on more advanced knowledge, on current best practice, and particularly on technical and professional standards, making sure that you can apply them and understand them in detail. And so the assessment is usually based around the application of these more developed skills and applying them to real life scenarios, as you would do if you're working in accountancy or audit yourself. Then we move on to the final level, which is TPE, Test of Professional Expertise, which involves a case study. So this is taking both some of the technical skills you've learned earlier on, plus, if you like, we're trying to develop and assess other skills, your ability to offer constructive advice, to assess a particular organisation's situations and think about it in real life, about what you would actually advise and what you would actually think would add value to that business. And this is one of the things that really marks out the CA as not just being a technically skilled accountant and auditor, but a trusted business advisor as well. Someone who has that wider soft skills, insight and expertise to be able to add that extra level of advice. And as I mentioned, that is assessed through an applied case study, which brings together a lot of the skills you learned earlier, but then also assessing these higher level skills. What is delivery like? Well, it is a blended learning approach. We do use online resources, and normally as well, we would then use an increasing amount of class delivery. Now, clearly at the moment, we are going through quite challenging times as a society, and a lot of that online, that learning, a lot of that class-based learning has been delivered online. But we're very proud that we have managed to continue with class-based delivery, albeit online, and assessment, again online, throughout the whole period. And we're proud to have been able to deliver that consistently to ICAS students throughout these challenging times. And overall, how would I say that the experience of being a student would measure up? What's it like? Well, I would say, from having worked with a lot of students over the years, it is hard work. I think it's best to be honest about that. There's going to be a lot of kind of effort and time committed from yourself, but ultimately very rewarding. You're going to develop skills and also be awarded a qualification that will really stand out. Also, you will get great support, both from Audit Scotland as an employer, and as I said, I've worked with them over the years and seen the support they provide, and also from us, from the lecturers and the rest of the ICAS team. We are committed to supporting you, and we'd be proud to support you as a student and as a recruit to Audit Scotland. Thank you very much.